So today we are going to learn about the poem I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, Maya Angelou by Anindita Sarkar. Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou, a powerful feminist writer and widely regarded as the Black woman's poet laureate, was born on 4th, 1928 in St. Louis, Missouri in America. At the age of 3, Maya's parents got divorced and as a result she was sent to Arkansas to live with her grandmother. During this time, Arkansas was a racist society, due to which Maya experienced great discrimination there, not only for being an Afro-American but also for being a woman. She was doubly marginalized on the basis of her race and gender. Thus, most of her writings can be found as the narration of the Afro-Americans' fight against different discriminations prevalent in the society. Introduction. Now let's get over to the introduction part. This poem by Maya Angelou was first published in her book Shakar, Why Don't You Sing? In 1983, inspired by Paul Laurence Dunbar's poem Sympathy, Angelou tries to connect the fight of a bird that is free with the caged bird whose wings are clipped. By projecting two contrasting images of a free bird and a trapped bird, the poem metaphorically alludes to the differences between the whites and the African Americans during the civil rights era. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings is written in a free verse. Let's come to stanza 1. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wing in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. Let's see what the summary one says about. It says, the opening lines show a bird leaping on the back of the wind, demonstrating the freedom it experiences to move about and glide freely through the air. It hovers over a stream of wind and floats downwards to where the current of the stream ends and the wind is calm. It dips its wing in the sea of orange sunlight. The bird is shown in a state of great tranquility. It has the freedom to move about wherever it desires. It is so utterly free and without restraints that it dares to claim the sky. The whole firmament is his one big home. I hope you all have understood the video till summary of stanza 1. Now let's talk about stanza 2. Stanza 2. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tired, so he opens his throat to sing. What does this para actually says? Let's come to summary of stanza 2. In this stanza, poet Maya Angelou contrasts the situation by presenting the image of a caged bird. The caged bird tries to go after his cage in vain. The cage is narrow and its metamorphical bars are of rage. The caged bird is seen to be very angry with its situation. It desires with all its heart to escape its plight. But the caged bird cannot see beyond his cage. Its wings are clipped. That is, its freedom is taken away. Wings are associated with flight, which is turn is associated with freedom. The words "his wings are clipped" means that its freedom is forcibly taken away. It cannot fly even if it desires to. Its feet are tired. A bird tied to the ground represents an image completely opposite to its true nature of flight. This represents the fact of alienation of the bird. But the most important thing is that despite being in this utterly despondent predicament, the caged bird opens his throat to sing. That seems to be his only joy and achievement in life. Stanza 3. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. Now what does this stanza actually mean? It means that the caged bird has a wavering voice. He is singing of freedom, something he doesn't have. The idea of freedom is his dream, one he cannot achieve. So he sings about it. There is fear in his voice. He had never known what freedom tastes like, but hopes to have it for his own. His voice can be heard from the distant places on hills where it inspires others to dream of freedom. The caged bird does not sing of sadness, but of hope, inspiration, and of freedom. Stanza 4. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn-bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. Now let's talk about this stanza. This stanza says that the free bird, on the other hand, revels in his freedom. He enjoys flying through the trade wind that blows through the trees. Sighing trees probably refers to the sighing sound made by the breeze while passing through the leafy branches. It gives an indication to their lack of freedom, as the trees are also tied to the ground like the caged bird. The free bird thinks of the fat worm that will be his food, with the wind in his feathers, water and earth beneath him, and the whole sky with him. He feels majestic in his freedom and calls the entire sky his own domain. By names the sky his own, the poet wishes to express that the bird knows himself to be the proprietor of this whole universe. Here the sky stands for the universe. Now what does the poet wants to say in the stanza 5? But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So he opens his throat to sing. The poet wants to say to the readers that the caged inversely knows that he is not flying in the sky, that he is not free, but a captive, a prisoner. He thus stands on the grave of dreams. He knows his dreams of flying in a free firmament to experience freedom is futile. He had lost all hope of freedom. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. It is more pitiable, more adverse than a nightmare. His wings are clipped and feet are tied. There is only a little hope of freedom. And so the bird opens his throat to sing. The bird wishes to travail against all adversities. There is a faint but kindling voice of hope in his song. Stanza 6. The caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. Now what does Maya Angelou actually wants to say through this stanza? She wants to say that this refrain recurring as a stanza justifies the bird's stout determination to keep going after his dream of freedom. Moreover, the caged bird chooses to sing as this is the only freedom available to him that he can enjoy without any restriction. His wings are clipped, feet are tied, but his throat is not choked yet. This is something the poet have felt at heart, and that's why she uses the title, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. This might be seen as the poet's message to raise our voice to express ourselves, even though the stronger wants to suppress the weaker and to never ever give up no matter what the situation we are in. It has been a norm from the old times that the superior has always tried to dominate the inferiors because they wanted to show their power in front of them. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings is Maya Angelou's heart-wrenching poem that reflects on the mindless oppression that the blacks were subjected back in the olden days. Her portrayal of the injustice using a freeboard and a cageboard leaves us with a bitter taste that reminds us of the long abolished slavery. I hope you have understood the whole video, and if you have any queries regarding this, you can write down your comments in the section below. Thank you.